the best time for me to give them a call to know, to find out about them so that I can reach out to them. So, Judy, that's great. I'd love to share some information with you. Do you have a business card? And they'll dig around for a business card. They'll give you a card. You go, great. What's the best time for me to call you?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all I'm doing with that initial conversation, because the challenge that you have with this initial introduction is you have enough time for people to either want to know more, or you give them enough information where they can make a decision that they don't need to know more. My point is always leave them wanting more.
Right.
You always want to leave them wanting more. And the elevator pitch should always be set with the information of causing them to want to know more about what you're doing, not trying to tell them about what you're doing. Okay, so that you can set that appointment.
So what are some of the blunders that you have seen with Immunotech, around, the elevator pitch? Or what are some of the things that we tend to do wrong?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong. I think it's the fact of understanding what we're trying to accomplish here. And what we want to accomplish is we want to set an appointment to have further conversation with the person, either in person or on a phone. Primarily in today's world, it's going to be phone. Okay, not email, not Facebook, not instant messaging, but either in person or on a telephone. Okay, so we want to cause them to do that. And so the point is always setting the next step. Whenever you interact with somebody, what you're trying to accomplish with that ultimately is to set the next appointment. Okay, that's the conversation. When I'm doing the elevator presentation, my business partners and I have a biomedical research company specializing in functional foods. What that means is we help people live longer and better.
Right.
What's that all about? Well, there's not enough time for right here. I've got to run. But you know what? Do you have a business card? Can I get your card? Okay, whatever. What would be the best day and the time for me to call you? And oh, by the way, Judy, I know you're busy and I'm busy. So if I call, are you going to take my call? Okay.
Right.
And I set that appointment. It's the setting of the appointment. Without the setting of appointment, nothing happens. Okay, and what happens with most of us are exuberance of telling everybody about this incredible product that's going to make everybody's lives better, live longer, all the things that are there. With our exuberance, we give out enough information where the person says, I don't need to know more. They don't have the full story. They don't have the facts. Okay, but we gave them enough information that they were able to make a split-second decision to cause them to say, well, that's just another thing. I don't need to know anything about it. See, there's not much to say. I didn't give you much information. Biomedical research company, functional foods, helps people live longer. There's nothing there to make a decision off of other than I want to know more or I'm dumber than a bag of rocks. Okay? That's reality.
Okay, so would you use an elevator pitch to reach out to somebody that you haven't, by email or by telephone, and would you use an elevator pitch there to introduce what you're doing?
Okay, different question to that, Judy. So now I can call you and I can say, Judy, this is Keith. We haven't talked in a while, just catching up with you. I'm doing something, Judy. I'm getting ready to put some time and money and most importantly, some energy into something. Judy, I don't want you to buy anything. I don't want you to sell anything, but I just aligned myself with a biomedical research company that specializes in functional foods that helps people live longer and better. What I'd like to do, Judy, is set a time to chat with you because I really love to get your input. Okay? Can you do that for me? Can you do me the favor of that? That's another. Don't go into great detail. Yeah, to set the follow-up.
So don't they need to know about glutathione and Dr. Bonos and Jimmy Gutman and?
No.
Don't they need to know about all that?
They do later on.
Okay.
They don't need to know it on that first call because you're calling them. You don't know what else is going on in the background. They got two people standing back in the background waiting for them to go out the front door to go have dinner. Okay, and you call and you want to tell them the Immunotech story. Okay. So always be respectful of their time. Always find out, and then when you find out about what's going on with them.
All right. So I'm going to open up the phone lines because I'd like this to be an interactive discussion tonight.
Conference muted.
There we go. So I'd like everybody to jump in. What are your questions around the elevator pitch, the 30-second pitch that we give people? What are your questions tonight, folks?
I don't have a question, but I think it's awesome.
Do you have your pitch? Is this Kathy?
No, this is Twyla.
Twyla, do you have your 30-second elevator pitch developed? Because I didn't till recently.
Well, I like Simona's actually. I have a huge warm market of friends. I'm a huge networker. I haven't exhausted my list yet, so but I have sat on airplane seats and just started chatting with people. I do that. But if I had a stranger, and that was the way, I love the way Simona says, "Hey, have you heard about that immune booster stuff?" And they'll say, "No, what is it?" And she'll say, "Well, I got to go to work, but if you give me your email, if I send you a clip, will you watch it?" And so she does that. I'm sure Simona's on the call. We actually have a little thing we do in front of people, because then she does the follow-up, and it's good. I like it.
Yeah, so have you been able to move to the next step with that pitch?
Well, has she? Yeah, she's got a whole
what I mean is, it helped you move to the next step? Is my phone cutting out?
Judy.
Yeah,
Judy, this is Simona. And what made all the difference in the world was when Doug McNabb came to Penticton and taught us that you never, ever send any information without making an appointment. So that was the piece that was missing for me. And so what I do now is I don't send anything until I say, "So when will you be able to watch it?" It's like a 4-minute or 6-minute, whichever clip I'm sending. And I'll say, "So when would you be able to watch it?" And it's quite funny. It's 4 minutes, and some people will say, "Well, not for 2 weeks." And I'll say, "Okay." So it's probably better if I send it, the day before. So when would be a good time? Because I'd like to set up a time where I could call you back that works for you. And I kind of don't let go until they have to think twice. Number one, they have to think in their mind when they're going to listen to it. And then number two, they have to decide when I'm calling them back. And by making that time, the difference is night and day. So I used to call back and back and back, and people have not watched the clip. But by making that appointment, more and more people have watched the clip.
Wow. Simona, if I can remember correctly, and I'm not sure about the numbers here, but weren't you the girl that enrolled like 25 people in a month? Am I right?
I have no idea how many. I made gold. I don't know if you did. I made gold the first month I was in because as soon as I found out it was in the CPS, I wouldn't shut up.
Well, it sounds like your strategy is obviously working for you.
Yeah, now I'm busy working with my team, so I haven't been sponsoring personally. I've been working with people. In fact, I just came back from meeting with person and jumped on the call in the vehicle. So I was praying you were recording this because I couldn't drive and listen and write Keith's thing, because I'm going to be memorizing that starting tonight. I love that. I have not had a 30-second blip for strangers. And so I love that because I meet people all the time and I interact with people just like Twyla does anywhere and everywhere, but I didn't have a 30-second thing. So I hope that it's recorded that I can go back and write that out.
Well, you know what? You raised some good points. I mean, we're all guilty of not being prepared. Not just being not prepared with our 30 seconds, but I've been in situations where I don't even have a business card or a pamphlet or anything. So, I mean, it could, right? So, I mean, when you've got people interested in another, I don't even have a business card to make a contact with someone. So, that's another big thing. You just reminded me of that. Anyone else want to add something?
But just before you go, Judy, I'm going to say it makes no schmuck of difference if you have a pamphlet or if you have a business card, because I'm with Keith. I get their information because they're never going to call me. You can hand out $100,000 worth of pamphlets and good luck. But if you get their information, now you get to call them.
Right on. Fabulous correction. Thank you for that. Did everybody get the message? You get their information. You don't give them any, except for your 30-second pitch.
I mean, okay, let me correct that. If they ask for mine, I give it to them.
Okay. You do what? Sorry, say that again.
I said if they ask for mine, I absolutely give it to them, but I always ask for theirs.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I think I cut someone else off. Is there someone else that has?
Yeah, Judy, this is Isaac.
Hi,
You hear
Isaac.
me? Oh, hi. Happy
Loud
New
and
Year.
Happy New Year,
Okay.
Isaac.
Yeah, I have a question. I know it's, I believe Keith is still on the line. With a venture page, I really like what Keith said, but my question is, you know what we have? Our program is made up of health and wellness and income, multiple sources of income. So the two areas. So the pitch, will it be okay to cover both sides? Well, we have our team who have developed, you know, a pitch that covers the two sides. But I'm just asking if it's possible, Keith can add the two areas.
Isaac,
You
you're a
can cover
man after
both
my own
sides.
heart.
You can cover both sides. The key to it, though, is to make sure that it's no more than 45 seconds long. That if somebody wakes you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and asks you, give me the pitch, you can give it to them when they wake you up from a dead sleep. Okay, and the fact that you don't give the people, you give the people enough information simply to cause them to want to know more, to set that follow-up appointment. Okay.
Okay.
So you're not telling them, because once again. Because Judy and I had the conversation, my partners and I have a biomedical research company that specializes in functional foods, and what that means is we help people live longer and better. All right, if you say, I just aligned myself with a biomedical research company that has functional foods that help people live longer and better, that in and of itself indicates that there's a business.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
It's embedded in the message, even though it's not in your face. Okay, it's embedded that we're in business here. That I'm not a representing Nabisco shredded wheats or something. Okay, that there's more to it than that. Okay, and so once again, everybody can take this and customize it to themselves. But the idea is simply within that amount of time that it takes an elevator to go between floors, that you can give enough information to give an overview of what are we. We are a biomedical research company. Okay? We do specialize in functional foods. And we do help people live better and longer. Okay? Those are facts. Okay? And that if you drill down and look at what Immunotech really is, that's what we really are. Okay? So to that point. But that's what you want to cover. And once again, the idea is simply to cause the people to have them have enough interest to want to know more so that you can do that for that follow-up phone call.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now, the most important business card that you're going to carry, the single most important business card you're going to carry, and I highly suggest you do this. You stop off at the office supply place, pick up the business cards that you can print yourself. You bring them home. You take one sheet of them, tear the 10 little cards, the blank cards on both sides, and you always have one of those blank cards with you. Because you're going to run into people that do not have a business card, and you need to hand them this blank card so they can put their information on it and give it back to you.
Ah, yes. Oh, wow.
So you care. I have blank cards in the case that my cell phone's with. I've got it in a money clip wallet that I carry. I've got those blank cards. I got 2 or 3 blank cards. Okay. Simply when I run into that key person that I'd like to get a hold of, and they go, I don't have a card. Okay, well, great. So I got this blank card. They can put their information on it and hand it back to me. Okay, because I don't give out business cards. Okay. There's no, I have them, and if I absolutely have to, I'll give them to somebody. But to the point, in 30 years of network marketing, I've never had anybody call me yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
30 years of network marketing, he's never had anybody call him back that he's given a card to.
Right. So the point is that you want to set that appointment. The key to our business is appointments. So with the elevator pitch, set the appointment for the follow-up. And
what?
Yeah.
Well, you turn the light on before you go out. Okay, hold on. You're unmuted so we can hear.
Okay. We got light switches. We're at least we know we're not in the dark. But the point is when we're starting, because everybody on the call, Judy and I were talking earlier, everybody on the call tonight, when you're bringing somebody into the business, you want to get them started right. And if you're pitching them on that initial presentation, that when you talk to them the very first time, you talk double bonded cysteine and sulfides and raising glutathione levels and of the immune system and all of the stuff that's there, and they do decide to join you, guess what they think they need to know before they can talk to anybody? Okay. When you tell them, look, I align myself with a biomedical research company that specializes in functional foods, that means we help people live longer and better. How long does it take them to learn that? Then they're ready to go. Okay? And that's the point. Okay?
Keith, there's a lot of network marketing companies out there now. A lot of opportunities coming, people are being pitched a lot these days. And, there's the old, the old standard pitches, like I've got this income opportunity and, all these standard pitches that people know as soon as they say the first three words that where the person's headed, right? So with the Immunotech, from my position, I see Immunotech set apart from all network marketing companies. That's just my opinion. Because they have the unique product and around the product an amazing opportunity that is second to none. So what are some of the words, like the verbs that we can use there to explain what our company has? Like you have your 30-second pitch, right? And so everybody has to adopt their own wording. So I just want to talk about what are some of the words we can put into that 30-second pitch that's going to be effective to describe Immunocal.
One of the reasons that I chose the word functional food is nobody knows what that means. They have an idea, but they're not really sure. Nobody's ever told them about a functional food.
Right.
They don't know what that they know. And here's the point: they think they should know. That's the good part.
Yeah.
They think they
You
should
go
know
and Google it.
but they don't know. So once again, that's why we use functional foods. Okay. The other thing that you can use with it is high tech our milk technology. Okay. We have a product that's high tech functional foods that's cutting edge milk technology. Okay, so there's some things that people can come in there. The key to it is the 45 seconds, cause people to know more, and most importantly, you feel comfortable with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't feel comfortable with it, you won't use it, you won't remember it. If I call you at 3 in the morning and ask you to give me the pitch, you'll have to think about it. If you've got to think about it, you don't own it. Okay?
Okay.
So you want to get this so that you actually own it.
That's a really good point. When we're giving our 30-second pitch, it has to belong to us. Because if it doesn't, we're going to sound inauthentic and robotic if we're taking it from somebody else, right?
Yep. And once again, understanding that the purpose of it is simply to set up a follow-up meeting, either in person or on the phone. Okay? That's what it's about.
They're recording.
And then when you take that meeting, we've done our elevator pitch. We've set the appointment to call them for the follow-up. Okay, now we've gotten permission for me to call them. Okay, so when I call them, okay, I'm not going to pitch them on Immunotech. Okay, I'm going to find out what's of interest to them. We have a functional foods, and you said you were interested in it. What caused you to want to know more about that, Judy? Tell me a little bit about where things are with you. We have a functional food that helps people with a lot of areas, but I need a little bit more information so that I can give you what you're actually looking for. Okay, So you start to interview them, in a conversation, not in a deal where you've got them sitting in a chair and a light in their eyes, okay, and you're interrogating them, but you're having a conversation, a information gathering conversation with them. At the end of that conversation, at the end of that second call, I'm still not going to pitch them on Immunotech. I'm going to say, Judy, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know that what we've got here is going to be of a great interest to you. I'm running up against the timeline here. I've got to run. When can I get back with you? When would be a good time for me to call you back? Okay. I'm going to set that follow-up appointment. You know, Judy, that's absolutely amazing that they're going to be there. I'm going to be with one of my business partners about that time, so I will reach back to you when I'm with them. Would that be okay with you? I just got permission to do the three-way phone call, the dreaded three-way phone call that nobody knows how to invite people to. Okay, so step one, elevator pitch. Step two is a follow-up call to find out a little bit about them. Step three is to call them back, and when you do, you have somebody else that is not you that tells them about Immunotech.
Mm. Wow.
That's
Any comments?
Because see, once again, the reason for that, there's reasons for this, okay? If I'm taking that brand, everything you do with that person from the time you say hello is training. And whatever you do, they will do. If you know everything there is to know about Immunotech, you know the comp plan, you know how the product is made, you know where they milk the cows, you've been there to look at the equipment that's separating the protein from the milk as it gets dropped off, how it gets packaged, the nitrogen in the packaging, how it's done, why it has an aluminum outside but has a special coating on the inside of the packet. If you've got all that information, and you're the one that shares it with your new prospect, then your new prospect thinks they need to know all that before they can start to talk about it. As soon as you bring that other person on that does it, then they go, well, shoot, okay, this is what I need to do. Elevator pitch and get people on a three-way phone call with somebody else to tell them about it. I can do that.
So is this people that want to build a business, or people that just want to use the product, or does it matter? Is the procedure still the same?
The point is, I've never found anybody that just wanted to use the product. Okay?
Yeah.
I found people that ended up that their lives were busy, they were doing other things, they didn't have time to build a business. But when somebody tells me that they're talking to people, they're only interested in the product, I've never found that to be true. I don't know anyone that can't use more money. And if that happens to be the case, I'll give you my address and you can send me your commission checks. Okay?
Right.
Sandra can find money. Sandra can find use for it. So the idea of it, I want to present it in a way that, look, if I can show you how to make an extra $10,000 a month on using a couple of hours a week, would you want to get all the facts?
Yeah.
Okay, if we're talking about, somebody wants to talk about, was there any money here? Well, yeah, let me ask you, if I could show you how to make an extra $10,000 a month with a couple of hours a week, would you want to get all the facts? So it's all about setting that premise there, and then I'm going to use somebody else on that three-way phone call. I'm not even going to go through that myself. I'm going to use somebody else to pitch it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's the point with this business that we're in. We're in a business of replication. And so your business, for somebody to make the money in network marketing, simply invite, and invite. Okay, the invitation for people to find out more. Okay, if that's all anybody ever does is become a great inviter, they can make a fortune here in network marketing. You don't get paid because you know all of the double sulfides and how the product is made, and you know all the research from top to bottom, and you've read all the patents on it and all of that. That is not going to build your business. Okay, it'll make you feel good, make you feel important, and is it there at some point when somebody's using the product, they're here and they need to have that additional information? Absolutely. That's why we do the Wednesday night calls. Okay. But on the business side of it, there's a process, and the process in place, because what's happened with Immunotech is the company has been built on the backs of the product, okay, without the other part, which is the network marketing strategies to get it out there. Yeah. Why is Immunocal network marketed? Because it cannot speak for itself. That box sits on a shelf, it cannot talk for itself. That's why it's the perfect product for network marketing. Network marketing is a perfect way to get the product out. But it's about setting out those parameters up, Judy.
Question for Keith. Anyone? All right. Do we have any?
I have a question.
They're all asleep. Wow.
Yeah. Wake up, everybody. Lila.
I was talking, but I had the mute button on because there was some dishes being done in the background. So I was talking and no one was responding. Well, there are some moments you wish you were alone for. So anyway, Keith, I have a question. So now you go through the second call and you set down an appointment to get them back on the phone. Do they know that that third party is going to be on that call? Do you tell them that? Or do you
tell them
just
when I set the appointment, because whatever time it is that I'm going to call them back, I let them know in advance. Hey, that's fantastic. I'm going to be with one of my business partners here about that time, so would it be good for us to call you back then? And I'm not going to do it in a big deal that, oh, by the way, I'm going to have this business partner and I'm going to arrange to get them on and let me tell you all about this person ahead of time, whatever. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just making it a very casual deal. Hey, that's a great time. I'm going to actually be talking to my business partner about that time, and I know he's got some real insight that I think you'd be interested in, so I'll have him on the line with me when I call you back. And I just leave it at that and go on.
Okay.
Very
so
casual.
when you make that three-way call back with your partner on the phone, does he do the presentation then, or because I'm gathering up to this point, this person has not received any videos or anything, so
nothing. They've had a conversation with me. We're back on the call, and at that point, they're back on the line. I'm saying, what, a really great. I was just talking with my business partner, John Solider, and I've got him on the line here. And John, let me tell you a little bit about Twyler or Judy or whoever I'm talking to. And,
okay.
I'm here with John. John's been with the company almost as long as I have, and we've done some amazing things. And he's made millions of dollars here. But I wanted John just to give you a little bit of an insight of what makes Immunotech different. John, Judy, John, and then my job then is to hit mute on my phone and take notes.
Okay.
Because John and I always laugh, because John uses me for three-way phone calls, and I use him for three-way phone calls.
Okay.
So, and that's what you guys have. You guys got talent here to use for your three-way phone calls, okay? And let them do that part of it, because once again, you're training that brand new distributor that they don't have to know anything other than how to invite somebody to get them on a three-way phone call. So we've got some really fundamentals: the elevator pitch, the follow-up phone call, where you're saying, that's great. I know you're going to want some additional information. Let me get back with you. Oh, by the way, I'm going to happen to be with one of my business partners about that time. Is it okay if I bring them on the line? I think you'll really like them. And so you didn't go into this great big deal of making it some big deal for a special three-way phone call. Okay? You just lived your life as a normal person. And they go, yeah, that'd be great. And then you bring them back, and then you bring Judy back on. Okay? And you go back and forth for just about 90 seconds, back and forth with all the three of you, and then you let Judy take over, and you press mute, okay, and take notes on what goes on there. And see, the beauty of that is that brand new distributor that's on the phone that hasn't even joined you yet is being trained on how to do the business. Okay.
So Keith, then. When your partner is speaking to your contact, then how long would that conversation go? How much depth would be involved in that, explaining what the offer?
John and I have done calls. We've done calls that lasted 10 minutes. We've done calls that lasted an hour. Okay, because the person kept asking if they want to know more. As long as they're wanting to know more, we're going to continue to give them the information that they're asking for so that they can make a decision that's best for them and their family is how they get started here with Immunotech.
Okay.
Some people will do that in 10 minutes. Some people take 45 minutes. Okay, so it just kind of depends on how that conversation goes about. But once again, see, the beauty of that is that's not the new distributor's determination. It's the other person, the third party that they brought to the line, and the person that they're interacting with. Okay, and once again, the person that you're bringing on, they're not just if you got somebody if somebody brought me on as a three-way phone call, I'm asking the person questions, because the person that asks the questions controls the conversation. The person asking the questions controls the conversation. So what you want to do is always ask them a question. When they ask you a question, you want to answer it, and at the end of it, include a question to them. Okay, so that you're always moving it in the direction that you want to get it to. Okay, so it's a process to do. That's why the brand new distributor is going to have difficulty doing that. Okay, those of you that have been here for a while understand the product, the comp plan, where we're at with Immunotech, the expansion, where Maurizio's at, all the things that are going on here. Then you can have those conversations with the people where you can ask them the question. There's a great thing, and I always close with everything else. What else do you need to know to get started?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you need to know to get started? Because see, I'm not leaving anything loose unless we're going to run out of time. And if we're going to run out of time, the point is, when can we set a follow-up phone call? I want the time and the date set. I don't want to loose end where the conversation ends and say, we'll get back to me and we'll set up another time, whatever. No, let's do that right now. Okay? Let's get that set right now as to when we're going to do the follow-up. Okay, to that process.
Okay, any more questions from the group?
Yeah, Keith, this is Isaac again. I have a question. You hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. My question is, you were talking about the three-way with a new person. Is it important that you educate the new person how to edify you or the upline as a leader to the prospect? Because the reason why I'm saying this is that, well, I was in Amway before, and then we're using the same principle you are talking about, but we have three ways in building a team: loyalty, edification, and unity. So the three-way, maybe before you do the three-way, how do we educate a new person before he calls the prospect?
Okay, when I'm going to do the three-way phone call, okay, and I'm calling you back and I'm saying, hey, I've got my business partner here with me, and I'm really honored that we're able to take some time with John today. Let me tell you a little bit about John, and that's where I'm going to do the edification at the time we're doing the call.
Okay.
The beauty of where we're at today is I don't have, because of the power of the product, the power of Immunical, the power of what we have here, is I don't have to have, the reason that they're going to want to know more is because I've got a functional food that helps people live longer and better, and they want to know about it. Okay, so we've already got that hook in there, so I don't have to do the part of, let me tell you about my friend that's made $10 million here. Okay, I don't have to do that. But when I bring him on the call, I certainly want him to know who he is. Okay, so I'm going to take 90 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever, to tell him about John. John and I have been friends for 20 years. We've been here. He's made millions of dollars here. He's got businesses all over the world. He's got business in every country we're open in. Just a tremendous guy with a real heart for what we have here. Has 3 great kids, beautiful wife, lives down in Dallas, Texas, and I'm really honored that I've got a chance to introduce you to him. Okay, and that's where I'm going to do that part, but I'm going to do it on that call right then. Okay.
Thank you.
And to the point, you want to do that going in, and why do you want to do that? You want to do it so the person on the other end listens.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're doing it. So great point that you brought that up. Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Of bringing that on there. But so you want to take that couple of minutes of telling them who this person is, this business partner that you've got on the line. Okay. So you do that edification at the time that you bring them on. And because, once again, we don't have to do it in advance of that. They don't have to know who they're going to be speaking to ahead of time. Okay, you can do it right on the call at the time, but it's important to do it. Okay, it's important to do it at the time of the call.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Very good.
Okay, so the elevator pitch. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask anyone in the group if they've developed. I know Simona gave her pitch earlier. Is there anyone else in the group that wants to give their pitch tonight, just to help us out and give us some other ideas?
Well, Judy, another thing that I have, the industry that we are in is built on leadership. So, the new people, I think when they join, the transformation to become a leader is very critical because when they become a leader, then the duplication concept continues. But if the individual just join and just buy product, use product, that, the business doesn't, it grows faster by that kind of concept. So is there any way that we can think of transformation when a new person joins? How does this person transform to the next level and to the next level to become a leader like Keith? Because that will then bring the duplication concept.
Well, the first 90 days is the critical period, as we all know, right? How they get introduced to the business, how comfortable they feel and what we're, like Keith was saying about duplication, giving them tools that they can duplicate so they feel confident in going forward. And I think it'll happen organically if they're given the right tools. And that's the purpose of these calls on Thursday night, Isaac, is we want to get together as a group and we want to develop our tools and sharpen up our tools and get our toolbox full so that we're ready to go out there and create those leaders. And, leadership is developed by, by copying someone else, right? Keith, what would you like to add to that?
Well, to the point of the developing the leadership is people will rise to that occasion. They'll rise to it. But that's why we want to talk about developing the skills that are transferable. Okay, as you develop leadership, it's about the fact that you're developing transferable skills. The beautiful thing about network marketing is it is a business that run about skills. The beautiful thing about that is skills are transferable. If you have a business that's run off of talent, okay, talent's not transferable. Skill sets are transferable. So that's why we want to talk about building the leadership. So the skill sets are, so what does somebody need to do to build leadership? They need to be able to teach people to do their elevator pitch. They need to be able to teach people how to set an appointment. They need to be able to teach people how to do how to set a three-way phone call and how to do that. Once they get past those points, okay, those are the fundamentals. And like everything else in life, if you can't do the fundamentals, you can't do anything else. You've got to get the fundamentals down. So when we're developing the leadership skills, let's make sure that the leaders are teaching people their elevator pitches. Leaders are teaching people how to set appointments. Leaders are teaching people how to do three-way phone calls. Okay? Then at that point, then those skills become transferable, and then the leader can go on and start to develop some of their other skills that they're going to need that they'll also transfer.
The host has joined the conference.
Okay? Okay?
Thanks.
Anything? Okay. Well, Judy, we didn't talk anything about getting people started right. How to set them up.
No, we didn't. Okay, has everybody got a few more minutes to talk about getting people started in the business? Everybody okay?
I think we're going to cover that next week.
Okay. They're ready. Everybody's ready.
Okay, well, it's up to you guys, but if you're talking about it, so we're talking about the process, okay? You gave them the elevator pitch. You set the next appointment. You did the three-way phone call. They said, okay, I want to get started. I want to try some products. You got it. Maybe you took a box of Immunical to them. You met with them, got a box of Immunical. You sold them a box, got a box in their hand. Okay, they've used the product. They've talked about it. They said, okay, I want to build a business here. What do I need to do? Well, we need to do a couple things. Number one, I need to know the 10 or 12 people that you want to be in business with. Okay, who are the 10 or 12 people that you would like to be in business with? Why would you want to be in business with them? Why would they want to be in business with you? I need their names and their numbers. Let's have a conversation about them. I don't want you to talk to anybody about that until you get good coaching about how we're going to approach them. Whether we're doing that follow-up call, that introduction call that says, I've just aligned myself with a biomedical research company that specializes in functional foods that help people live longer. I'd really like you to take a look at it. But I need to know who these 10 or 12 people are. Once I've got that list of 10 or 12 people, now you're ready to get started. Okay, you've gotten a box of Immunical, you've used a few packages, you've used it for a week or a couple of days or whatever it happens to be, and now you come in and you get your action pack. Okay, you got your package, and so now you've got 7 boxes of Immunical or Immunical Platinum coming to you, and now I tell you you need to set an auto ship. Okay, so you just spent $600 and some dollars. You've got this product coming to you, and I'm now telling you need to have an auto ship set. And you're going, well, why do I need an auto ship? I've got 6 or 7 boxes coming to me. Well, let's talk. Let's think this through for a minute. Okay, you got a box from me. You tried it. You've used part of it. You've been on it for a little bit. We've got 10 or 12 people that we're going to talk to. 3 or 4 or 5 of them are close to you, locally with you. When you're talking to them, are they probably going to want to try the product? Yeah, they're probably going to want to try the product. Okay, so that's 4 or 5 boxes of your 7 that are gone. You're going to use one. Somebody else in your family is going to use one. You're going to be out of product before next month comes along. Let's get that auto ship set so that you can start building a business, because what you do, other people do. Okay? But if I don't have that list of 10 or 12 people before we have that conversation, and they just sign up with 7 boxes, and they don't know who they're going to talk to. I don't know who they're going to talk to. They got 7 boxes coming. They don't know what they're going to do with them. It's going to be really hard to get that auto ship set. Okay? But if I've got this conversation in place, here's we're going to place these 3, 4, 5 boxes in the hands of people that they're going to buy them from you. They're going to be on the product, evaluating what we've got here. You're going to need this auto ship coming in, because otherwise you're going to run out of product. So let's get that set. That goes back to the duplication, okay, of what do you want everybody doing? You want them to get an auto ship, so they've got 2 things. They never miss a check, okay, and they never run out of product. Well, they may still run out of product because they may not have enough coming, but they'll never miss a check. Okay, and you want to get that set in place. But once again, one of the challenges is if you do not know who they're going to talk to before you sign them up, they're going to say, I got 7 boxes, I don't need any more. I don't need an auto ship. So then you got to go back and do twice as much work or 3 times as much work. Okay, because now you got to go back, you got to try to find out who they're going to talk to, you got to find out where the stuff is at, you got to try to go through the process of getting the auto ship set. You got all these things that you're redoing this stuff. Okay, to my friend Bob Schmidt, you got loose ends everywhere. Okay, so once again, it's that process of moving people through. Okay, elevator pitch, setting the appointment, setting the follow-up phone call, doing the 3-way call, getting them some product for them to get on. Okay, so that they're using it, sell it to them. You know, and here's the point. I do this, okay? I've done this, you know, because once again, Judy and I have had this conversation. I start with somebody who says, look, give me a check. Start on the product. If you don't love it, don't want to join me, I'll give you your check back, okay? Okay, and get them started. So what does that do? That means that when they come in the business, they've already had these processes in place. Okay, everything you do, you're teaching that new distributor, even though they're not even joined you yet. You're teaching them how to do the business. And so just think about that in all of your comments, all of your words, all of your actions. Are you training them to do the things that they need to do to be successful? One of the things that we look at in network marketing, you have people, they go out, they sponsored 15 people. Nobody's doing anything, but they say, I'm not discouraged. I'm going to go get 15 more. Okay, so great. You're going to go get another 15 that don't do anything. Okay, it's about getting people started right. So spend some time with your notes, take it down, and say, what are the processes that need to be in place for these people to be successful?
Don't you record that?
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And that's why we have 7 cups in the box, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you've got the boxes, because once again, you're going to have people, and once again, when you're talking with somebody that's brand new, just coming to the business, they've joined today, okay? They've got their 10 or 12 people that they're going to talk to. Probably 4 or 5 are local. But once again, it's important that when I set this with them, please do not call these people. Please do not contact them. We need to have a conversation about them. ahead of time, and then we will develop a strategy on how we will approach them for you. The we. Maybe you approach them on your own. Maybe we approach them with a three-way phone call, which is the best way to do it. Or maybe this is somebody that you've got a great contact with, but you're afraid of them. Okay? For whatever reason, you're thinking, man, I don't know, this person is way out of my league. They may not be interested in it. That's okay. I'll call them for you. Okay? Mm-hmm. And because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Judy and I are doing, the reason I'm giving you a call, Isaac, is Judy MacDonald and I are doing some stuff. She's aligned herself here with this biomedical research company that I'm involved with, where we, with a functional foods that help people live longer. And I asked Judy who's some of the sharpest people she knows, and you were at the top of the list, and that's why I'm giving you a call. Is it a good time for us to talk right now? Okay. That's what I'm. So on everybody's list of 10 or 12, there's one or two that are going to be required for you to make the phone call for them because they're afraid to do it. Okay, and that's where back to Isaac's point about leadership and development. Those are skill sets. Those are skill sets that you have to learn to be able to do. Okay. And that comes down the road a little bit as you get expertise here. It's not going to be somebody that signed, and that's why you want to use the team effort and go upline. Remember, you've got 5 or 6 people above you that are in the comp plan that are benefiting by helping you succeed. They benefit helping you succeed. Okay? So use them to help you succeed. Okay, with those 3-way phone calls. But the point is to set that auto ship at the time the person signs up. And like I say, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, well, I talked to them and they signed up and they didn't want to set an auto ship because they had 7 boxes. Great, I understand that. Did you ask them who the 10 or 12 people were that you guys were going to work with? Well, no, I didn't get their list yet. Okay, well, that's that. What did you just do? You just set them up for failure. Why would you do that? Okay.
Thank you.
That is great information. Real information. And so just to let everybody know, we'll get off this call here. We've been an hour now, and Keith, your information has been invaluable. But I want everyone to know that it's been recorded. I missed the first part of it, my introduction, but that's okay. The meat of the meeting was recorded, and that's all the comments from Keith. So before we go, is there any last comment or question for Keith?
Yeah, Judy, I have one other for Keith. Uniformity is one of the items that is considered in building a team. So what Keith has given to us, is it possible to put in some sort of a flow chart so that will teach the leaders to teach?
Well, that would be great, and we'd have to.
We can look on some of this stuff, but it's a program of teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. Okay. And that was that years ago that was the point of how do you build a huge network marketing business? You teach teachers to teach teachers to teach teachers to teach. Okay.
And Isaac. And another point, Isaac, is that it's recorded. The call is recorded. The benefit of the recordings is you can go back and replay it over and over and over again. So in fact, you can capture your own notes from it. Okay. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we are making a lot of notes.
And where do we find this recording?
The link will go out tonight after the call.
Okay.
Like out where?
Well, good point. We've got people from our. I'll send it to Keith, and I'll send it to Lila, and of course my team will have it as well. Does that accommodate everybody? Sorry?
I will post it up when you get there. I'm not going to do it tonight, but when you get the link over tomorrow, I will post the link up on xyztools.com, xyztools.com.
YZ.
And it's just www.xyztools.com.
ZT.
I will post it on that website tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
that's a generic site, guy. Not everybody knows about that site. That's a generic. I own the site. It's generic. There's no way to contact anybody. There's no contact information on there. It's strictly a tool site for the team. So there's no way to contact it. The only thing anyone can do is sign up to get the notifications about the calls that we do. That's the only thing that they can do. There's no contact information, no whatever, so people can use it for their people.
Please can you confirm the site?
Okay. What's that?
XYZ. Yeah, to confirm the site, XYZ.
Tools.com.
Tools.com.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up, and there's just a few to summarize tonight. You know, I encourage everybody to spend the time getting their elevator pitch together this week, because honestly, that one single aspect will give you more confidence to go out there and share with people. Secondly, you know, we got some great calls here. Keith's call on Wednesday night is absolutely fantastic for product. And so when you're enrolling that new person and they're just getting familiar with the product, with Immunical, get them on Keith's call so they can really be inspired and encouraged by hearing the testimonies around the product. And of course, if you're really serious about building an income around Immunitech, these calls on Thursday night are designed to give us some tips and tricks, and mostly to be together to discuss what, you know, our ideas and our challenges to help us grow in the business. And I really want to thank everybody for getting on the call tonight. So next week, Keith gave me the subject for next week. Next week, we're going to talk about follow-up. Sound good to everybody?
Yes, and thank you very much, Judy, and Uncle Keith. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Lila, did you have a question before we leave tonight? I thought you had something you wanted to ask.
I did, but you know what? I think it might go into a few more minutes, and you know, I can bring it up another time.
Yeah, well, you jot it down for next week, and we'll be sure to answer that for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, everybody.
And I need younger people. That means everybody that's been on Immunical for 3 to 5 months that want to share their story on the Wednesday night calls. We're looking for some new people that people have not heard, and people have only been using it a short time. So if you reach out to me or Judy or your uplines to get that info over there so I can get you on a Wednesday night call, and I will do a pre-call interview with you, so you're not coming in cold to that call, so that we'd love to get those, because you can help more people by sharing your story.
Right on. We've got lots of callers on this call tonight, so everybody's got a testimony. So, yeah, help Keith out by sharing your testimonies on the Wednesday night call.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you, Judy, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm super excited. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm super excited about all this. So thank you so much for your coaching, Keith, and thank you, everyone, for being on the call. Looking forward to next week.
Okay,
Take care.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.